Okay, so over on your end is a red over in the corner. Say record.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. I was just making sure before I get started. All right. What up, world? Welcome to another episode of RMT. That's Real Man Talk. It's your boy, Stan the Man, coming to you with another great conversation piece on today. And before you get started, I want to thank you for joining me here on RMT. So, on today, we got a special guest. He been talking to me for about 6 months. I done known him for about 2 years, man. We've
Yes.
been talking back and forth, man. And from what I know, man, he's a great guy. And I wanted to bring him on here to give I got some younger guys coming here to give a younger perspective. And I don't want to be the old head that studied chopping off y'all head. So today, man, I present to y'all my guy, Mr. Steven Powell, man. Welcome to the show.
Man, I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, so man, on today, we just gonna get into a little bit, man. Cause see, me from me, I'm 41, right? Me
Mm.
41, you being 26, man. Let me ask you this, because me and you grew up in the 2000s, right? So you was born what, about 98?
98. Yep. Right on the
98.
dot.
Okay. So yeah, so you born about 98. So in 98, let me give you a perspective. In 98, I think I was a sophomore in high school. Let me see,
Mm-hmm.
96. 96, 97. No, I was a freshman in high school when you was born. So I was I was a
It's
freshman.
around there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was a freshman in high school when you was born, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's the age gap right there. So what you think is like the disconnect between those two ages, like from the older people to the younger people? Do you think that we don't understand where y'all coming from because y'all growing up in a different time, or we just old school and we just want things to be our way?
It's funny you asked that too, because my mama and my dad, they 45 and 44.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom's kind of like my best friend. So I think your age range, your generation, y'all do a better job with us than I feel like my grandparents did with my parents, if that makes sense.
That
Because
make a
y'all
lot of
were
sense.
in that to where you said you was a freshman, so you was able to get into the technology and kind of like vibe along with us, grow along with us, understand us as the time came on. But still,
Mm-hmm.
they still kind of old school. They still do their thing. Like, yeah, y'all do it. They don't be on crypto or nothing like that. So there's still some
Right.
disconnect, just like the kids now. I don't know what they be talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, let me ask you this, because you said that the parents kind of picked up on the technology, because I remember cell phones was just getting popular around that time. You had the it was just a flip phone. It wasn't even a razor. It was just a flip on there, and like people
Yeah.
weren't really doing no texting and nothing like that. Because they had the Motorola two-way and all that. Because I'm aging myself right now. I know I'm aging myself,
No, a
but
little bit
they
of. I
had
thought you were gonna talk about the brick.
yeah, the Motorola. So listen, man, and so from that time, I think from my perspective is that we understand it from the perspective like our parents didn't understand us. So we wanted to take the chance to try to learn what y'all coming from. So when y'all do come to us, we can understand it better.
Mm-hmm.
We're a little bit more open to technology. We're a little bit more open to hear what you got to say than to just shut it down. Because I had the type of parents like, it's my way or the highway, you know. And I'm thinking like, when I was growing up, my parents didn't listen to the teachers and stuff. I was like, the teacher don't know what they talking about. They did this and they did that. And then my parents like, they ain't lying on you. Come on now. So when it was
Yeah.
my turn, I kind of looked at it a little bit different. But okay. So man, let me ask you this, bro. All right, so you played football, man. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what got you into football? Was it your dad that played, or what was it that got you into it?
Man, I didn't even. My dad didn't even really care to play football. I grew up on the Air Force base, so I was playing soccer and t-ball the whole time. But I think that I watched this movie one time, and it was the Badger movie or something, and I just wanted to start playing. So I went. I told my dad, and he got me in Pee Wee football, and I figured out I was soft.
You say you
And
was soft.
yeah, I was soft. I was real soft, real soft. Crying. I was soft.
Oh man.
Yep.
So
And then after that,
what
so
age was that?
I think that was around third grade, probably third
Okay.
grade.
Okay.
hmm
Okay. Okay. Dude say you was soft.
Man, I was I grew up on the base. We was
Uh
pretty chill. My mom worked. My dad was actually a stay at home dad. He was retired.
gotcha.
So he stayed at home, and we went to school. My mom, she was in the Air Force. My dad was Army, retired
Mm-hmm.
Army. Um, so we just waited for her to come home all the time, and we just played soccer and t-ball and
Yeah.
played outside with our friends. It was, none of that football stuff. But
So you started about third grade. So
mhm.
yeah, you say you was soft.
Yeah.
All right. So when was that transition that you switched from being soft and then you really got into okay, this is what I want to do and I'm gonna stick with it. So did you want to quit at
Oh yeah.
first?
Not totally at first, but if I had a
Uh
bad practice or a
mhm.
bad game, my dad would make me run in the backyard. And
Mm,
he would hit me with pads, and he was like, "If you don't play this, you're gonna be great. Like you gotta be great."
yeah,
So man,
yeah.
I wanted to quit so bad. I'm like, hey, one time he knocked me smooth out with that pad.
Right.
But now that I look back at it, I mean, if you're gonna do something and you're gonna spend time, money, effort in something, go 100 miles an hour.
Oh
Because
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
that's and then I see he was instilling that in me, and so I think that was kind of the turning point because I threatened with quitting. He was like, I don't care if you quit because you don't have to play. And then
Mm,
I wanted to still play, so I kept playing after that.
mm. Okay. So let me ask you this, man, because you always had that one point where you had that breakthrough. You had that one game that you got in, and you was like, all right, you was the truth. Now take me to that one game when you went in, man, and it just clicked, and you was like, okay, I'm good at this, man.
Whew. So I was always bigger than everybody, so I wasn't just good, but I was bigger.
Right,
I was
right.
like I was like 5'8", 5'10" in Pee Wee football.
Dang.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my highlights on YouTube, man, I was like up here, everybody else down there. So I was just the big guy, and they let me do whatever I want. But
Mm-hmm.
probably seventh grade when I played. That was my last year of Pee Wee football, and I
Mm-hmm.
played for the Red Wolves in Sherwood. It was a new team, um, and there's a team out in Oak Grove. They was big, real big, bigger than me actually, and they
Mm.
was like our rivals. I came into this, I didn't even know there was rivals or anything like that, and
Right.
they let us play on Sylvan Hills Field at nighttime, and that's
Mm.
a big deal for Pee Wee
Yeah,
football.
Friday night lights, right? You under the
So you
lights?
talking about what?
Yeah.
So they pulled all the strings, man. I'm talking about I got in the first possession they had, I had got a fumble.
Mm.
I'm hype. I'm hype. And we end up blowing them dudes out, man. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I was like, okay, I maybe because the dudes was bigger than me, so and
Yeah.
they wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's when I figured out I was like, okay, I'm kind of nice at this.
Mm.
hmm
So, do you think if your dad wouldn't have made you run and hit you with them pads after them games, do you think you would ever got to that point?
I don't think I would have got to that point unless something else was the catalyst to make me get to that point and understand what work ethic is and what
Mm-hmm.
toughness is and tempering and just
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff that needs to happen for a young man to figure out who he actually is in the world.
Mm-hmm.
um, I feel like everybody happens, it happens at different points in time. It could have happened in the classroom or just in irregular everyday life, but that was
Mm-hmm.
definitely my choice to still keep playing the game.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
got you. I
Yeah.
got you. I got you. Man, I remember because like I wasn't good in football. I wasn't soft, but you know,
Yeah.
I tell people, yeah, I played. You know, they be like, dang. I was like, yeah, I played, but I was on the bench, man. I was like, I was on the sideline. My socks was always clean. I ain't really had to hit no shower and nothing like that, cause you know I ain't played. You know, I'm just be keeping a buck with folks, man. They
Yeah,
be
yeah,
laughing at me, but I be keeping them buck. I was like, man, you can ask folks. But one thing I did was like, once I worked out and I got in shape, I was like, man, I went back to school. The girls were like, oh, okay. I was like,
yeah,
well, I ain't gonna worry about football no more. I wasn't starting no way. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. I'm gonna take
yeah.
me and my muscles and I'm gonna go with the ladies. You know what I'm saying? But let me ask you this, man. So, okay, you went from little league, you went up and you played in high school. Now, did you play on a collegiate level?
I did. I did.
Okay, okay, okay. So now I know a lot of people say this. Is it a big transition going from playing from high school to going in college? They say it ain't a big transition going from college to the NFL, but from high school to college ball, is that a big transition?
Man, it's huge. It's huge.
Mm,
You go from practicing one time a day to now you got all day football, and even during school, it's twice a day football. You
dang.
know, you gotta breathe, eat it. That's just it. It is what it is. It's a job. It's a
Hmm.
job for sure.
I
But
got you.
yeah, yeah,
Now let me ask you this then. Okay, when you went to college, man, I know it was a lot of I know it was a lot of women there, man,
oh
and
yeah.
like, did your faith change when you got to college? Like when you start seeing high school girls is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to college, that's a whole nother thing. Cause you got the ones in high school, then you got the ones that got that college body. They ain't got that high school body.
Right.
Everything to drop and start to fill
Gone
out. You know
over.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's
Yeah.
a whole different ball game because you got the senior girls and all that, and you got mixed ages in there. Now, when you first got to college, did was it tough for you to stick to your values, or you just like, I'm gonna do what I want to do?
So I'm blessed to have the upbringing that I did with my parents, but also my church. So I go to First
Mm-hmm.
Assembly of God, North Little Rock,
Mm-hmm.
behind Golden Corral. So
Mm-hmm.
they give us, class pastors and youth pastors and just
Mm-hmm.
helpers and everything to help us navigate. They help, I went to UCA, so they helped bridge the gap and
Mm-hmm.
I met with people up there that I knew. And
Mm-hmm.
so even though I did act out in college, it wasn't like I lost myself. I actually did go on a mission trip my first year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Found God. Like I knew God, but that moment where you
Yeah.
okay
Yeah.
found him and
So
on a
talk
mountain.
so so talk about that, man. Talk about that moment because a lot of people, they don't talk about that moment. But when was that moment? Like your parents teach you, hear than your grandparents. You go to church, you listening, and you understand it and everything. But when it really touched your heart, take us to that moment, man. When they really touch your heart and you found God for you.
Man, it's crazy because over here in the US it's a lot different. I didn't find God over here. I found
Gotcha.
him in India when I was on a mission trip.
Mm,
So, growing up, we over here we have everything taken care of. Even
mm-hmm.
the people who don't, on the corner, they're still not as bad as they are over here. I mean, over there.
Yeah.
So it was just eye opening. And I was laying in the bed one day, and they believe differently than we do. Their
Mm-hmm.
whole culture is different, and they do have witches and witchcraft and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
And man, we was in the Himalayan mountains, just
Mm,
trekking, meeting people that have never seen a white or a black person before, don't speak
mm.
any languages, and we pay them to fix meals for us because we don't have any food with us. So it's just an eye-opening experience in that. But I want to say one night we was on the mountain and we
Mhm.
didn't have any phones. You couldn't bring your own phone out. Somebody had a satellite phone, but you couldn't
Yeah.
bring your own phone or anything like that. But I was looking out across the mountain and I seen a fire and then on another mountain. And just hear some screaming, just screaming, screaming, screaming.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay, that's different. And I'm like, what they doing over there? And they was
Right.
banging pots and banging bells and sacrificing animals over there. And I'm like, okay, so this is real.
Yeah.
And that hit me when that right there hit me. So that shook me. That shook me to my core. And
Mm.
I couldn't sleep. I could not sleep. And I had my
Right.
leader come in. We prayed. And I just had to continue to talk to the Lord and like ask him to make himself be known to me just so I can have peace and comfort to go to sleep. Because I'm like, yeah, I know God, but like if you're not in that situation, it's like, ooh, you know.
Yeah.
That's when it got real, and when my relationship with him got real. When I came back, I was not the same guy.
Mm. Mm. Man, man, I appreciate you for sharing that, man, because now you don't mind me asking what age was you when that happened?
I was 18.
18.
Yeah.
Okay. 18. So not a lot of 18-year-olds, um, not a lot of 18-year-olds want to live for Christ. I put it like that, or don't have that experience. Because sometimes, man, you have to be like almost in a near death situation before you
Right.
really accept Christ like that. And for me, man, I was hard hit. I was raised in the church.
Mm.
Both of my parents in the church. Like I'm talking about, it wasn't no rap music going on in the house, man. I'm talking about serious, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I appreciate it now, but the thing about it is like all that I I was living a double life.
Mm-hmm.
With my parents, I was a church boy, going to church, in the word, Bible study, just this young man that was going on to do great things, you know. But when I went to school, oh man, I'm different, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I kept that even with a certain circle of friends. They knew that I smoked weed, or they knew that I drink. But that was just with them because I didn't want my parents. We lived in a small town, so I didn't want my parents to really know that I was doing that, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
I'd be happy to hear young men at your age found God at such a young age, because me, even though I knew him, I was like, I didn't want to live that life.
Right.
You know, I didn't want to live that life, man. I really didn't accept Christ until I was like maybe 30 years old,
Mm-hmm.
35. I would say I was probably about 32, 32 years old. And at that time, man, I was like, man, I'm gonna quit drinking, I'm gonna quit smoking, I'm gonna quit going out the club and hanging out. I had 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
2 kids. So I was like, once I transitioned though, the thing about is like, what took you so long? Dude, it's so much better over here. I'm like, man, I
Yeah.
have wasted all that time. I was mad at myself, bro. I was mad at myself. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
what took me so long? And then the thing about it, he started blessing me so fast with stuff. I was like, man,
Ooh-wee.
dang. I was like, dude, what I should have been. You I was like, oh man,
Mm-hmm.
dude, I had prayed me and my pops, man. Me and my pops were praying one time, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I said, Pops, at the time I was working waiting in my mail and I was staying in Southwest.
Oof.
That was, you know what I'm saying? That was a
What a
drive. And I was like,
drive.
me and my daddy, I was like, Dad, I'm like, man, I'm tired because as soon as I get out of work, I gotta go pick up my kids. I ain't hardly got no time. And I still want to kick it. But I'm gonna tell you this so crazy. As soon as I changed and lived my life right, I bought a house. Not only was I able to buy a house, I only worked probably about 10, 15 minutes from where, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
me and my dad, we sit back and we prayed about, hey, I want to be close to my job, that if I have to, I can ride a bike or walk, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Same thing. Me and my wife, we was riding, we was going to drop our kids off in Atlanta for the summer. Well, to
Mm-hmm.
stay like a couple of weeks. And we wrote on the sheet of paper everything we wanted in the house. And guess what happened? everything on that sheet of paper. I'm talking about everything on that sheet of paper. And I
Yeah.
was like, bro, I was so mad at myself because I'm like, you a fool because you was raised like this, so you knew what's what, and you still went and wanted to go live your life and mess up and do all this for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But anyway, man, I done got out my
Nah.
own little rap. My
No, it
bad, man.
makes
'Cause
sense. It makes sense.
yeah, I
It
mean,
make a lot of
because I
sense.
get the rant because I get to thinking about it, and I be like, man, I should have been, you know,
Hmm.
did this. So let me ask you this, man, because that's another thing I think young black men don't like to do. Like, why you get married so young, man? That's what why you get married so young? All the women, all the life you ain't lived yet. You too young.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get all that. So why you do it so young, man?
Man, so I just starting out, I've always tried to follow Christ. Even though I fall off and on the rails,
Yeah.
I've always
Mm-hmm.
tried. So that's how I knew he was keeping me throughout college, even when I went into everything that I did. But
Mm-hmm.
one thing, when I got out of college and I got back home, I was in nursing school. So I needed him throughout nursing school. And I was still,
Yeah.
doing my own thing, but I never I more so crossed them. Like, if you need prayer, you need prayer in the middle of the club, kind of thing.
Right. Right.
I never hid that, but
Yeah.
it was so I had just the internal turmoil all the time, man.
Mm.
It was just it was a struggle. It was a struggle for sure. Um, but with marriage, man, I found my wife when I was 23. I think she was 21.
Mm-hmm.
We met at the club. Uh,
Mm.
so my friend was she wanted a DD one night, and I had actually told myself I was kind of done going out, not because of religious reasons, just because it's a waste of money. And I don't like doing all that.
Man.
But
Yeah.
he asked me to come DD, and her friend was my wife, and we went out, and we actually got into it later that night because she didn't want to leave. She wanted to talk to me, and I'm like, I gotta go because it's 4 o'clock in the morning. But
Mm-hmm.
so they ended up staying, and I left because I was DD. I left, and
Right.
my wife reached back out to me and she apologized and everything, and
Mm.
we ended up talking, and she came to church with me, and that was it, really.
Mm-hmm. Man, see, that's see, I got married at 23 too. I
Mm,
was 23.
yeah,
See, I'll be married this year. I'll be married 18 years.
it's a long time. Congrats
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, man. I'll be married 18 years. And bro, I don't think it's no better thing than, what I'm saying, than my wife.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
throughout my life, all the stuff that we have been through and her to be still by my side, man, she dope, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I'm also appreciative of her because she's so supportive of what I do. She
Hmm.
got my back. And it ain't no dogging me out about it, even if I make mistakes. You
Right.
know, she gonna talk noise, don't get me wrong. She gonna talk noise, but it's all good, man. But man, that's beautiful. Now, let me ask you this now. Okay. So since you and your wife, y'all different races, man. How
Hmm.
often do people have something to say about you not being married to, African American?
Man, it's not as often as I feel like people think it is. It's more of the
Mm-hmm.
looks and
Mm,
more of the you know, it's probably more in your head than it is out. Because I mean,
yeah.
I know a lot of people. They just it's a different time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a different place, and the people we surround ourselves around, that's a big deal. Like, we surround ourselves around
Yeah.
people who are positive. They're in the church. They have the same goals, mindset as
Mm-hmm.
we do. So one of my best friends they're in a mixed couple as well, and they go to church
Mm-hmm.
as well. So, but I have had some pushback. Like, I play as a Greek led organization, and
Mm-hmm.
I've dated Black women throughout my time in college, as well as white women, as well as Asians and Hispanics.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, but the military background and me growing up on base, it's just everybody. It's
Yep.
not.
Yep.
But
Mm-hmm.
it's been some of it, not too much. And when stuff comes up, we just because I don't dog any type of woman or any type of race of women.
Mm-hmm.
I think all women are beautiful, all women are powerful, and I think we need them just as much as they need us.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they're here as our helpmate, and we're supposed to provide, protect, and love them as Christ loved the church, and that's just is what it is.
Yeah, man. Listen, this my take on that, man.
Mm-hmm.
If regardless of what race she is, if she not a woman of God, you're gonna be in a bad situation anyway.
Definitely,
You know what I'm
definitely,
saying?
definitely.
That's how I look at it, because I don't care if I got the most beautiful black woman by my side or whatever. If
Mm-hmm.
we not equally yoked, it's not gonna be peace within that household. It's not gonna be peace within that situation. And once God bring two together, talking about
Right.
God bring you together, then it's a whole different element, because it's y'all as one and y'all going
Mhm.
to God. But when you got two separate, you're not equally yoked, you just going to God and she out doing whatever,
Right.
somebody gonna pull somebody. And let
Yeah.
me tell you, man, that flesh will get weak, because just think about this, man. You got your wife. If your wife is sexy and you're attracted to her, you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna want to sleep with her, right?
Right.
Now she going out, she doing this, she saying you doing, you be like, come to church. She be like, nah, I don't want to go to church, baby. Won't you lay here with me?
Yeah.
And your flesh, man, you gotta be a man, you gotta be a real strong man to deny that and go to church. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. No.
You know, I'm serious, bro. Especially especially if
No.
you got
No.
that
Yeah.
internal fight inside.
Mm-hmm.
And you be like, man, you know what? I'm miss church this one
Or I
time.
could
Go
just watch
ahead.
online or something.
Yeah,
Watch
I'm gonna go
online.
ahead and hit it, and I'm gonna,
Right.
before you know it, you just slipped a little bit further. Cause look what happened
Mm-hmm.
to Adam. That's a prime
Yep.
example.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Eve was so fine, throw that man off his rocker, man.
I'll eat whatever you give me.
Man, whatever you give me. Shoot, long as I can get that later,
Right.
I can get that other fruit. This fruit, I'm eating it right now.
That's exactly what he did. Threw the whole world away.
Through the whole
Get y'all.
world away. That's how powerful it is. I be telling
Yeah.
guys, man, they be thinking that I just be joking. I be like, bro, I'm being funny, but it's just that powerful, man.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, it's just that
It
powerful. And
is.
so
It is.
I say, man, salute to you. And how many years now?
We about to be turned two,
2
and
years?
so we got
Good, good.
eloped first.
Mm-hmm.
Got eloped, and we stayed eloped for almost a year, and then we had our wedding, the big wedding.
Yeah, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. That's what's up, man. We never got to a big wedding, man. My my stepmom, she's evangelist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she married us in my parents' living room.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that was like one of the things, like within my family, all my siblings got married in the living room. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So that was something that we did. And so ever since then, man, um I haven't had a large wedding, nothing like that, and we've been together
Mhm.
18 years. So hey, so don't think y'all gotta spend all that money on the wedding.
Please
Go to the
don't. Please,
courthouse.
I'm telling y'all, please don't.
Go to the courthouse, man.
Please,
Just
please
jump the
do.
road.
Please do. That wedding, I mean, it was nice. It was a cute wedding, whatever. But
Oh yeah,
man, it's just we was rocking
yeah.
solid hard already, and then
Mm-hmm.
to revert and have to pay the money and all that for, you know, it just wasn't necessarily as worth it as people think it is.
Yeah. So y'all hear from him. 2 years married, man.
Yeah,
It's not all that, you know what I'm saying? Spend the money on the honeymoon and the down
honeymoon.
payment on the house. There you go.
There you go. That's it. Get you a nice honeymoon, and then get
Yeah.
you a starter house. Now
Yeah.
you ain't living in your mama basement no more.
Yeah, man. And you chilling.
You chilling.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, man. If it's one piece of advice, young man listen to this, man, don't know what to do with his life or whatever. And what's one piece of advice that help you that you can give to a young man that's listening right now? What would you tell him?
And I would say find a mentor. Find a mentor, because the right mentor. If you don't, first off, if you don't find God, that's your forward. That's your first. and your mentor should be lined up with God. God will bring you a mentor if you ask him to. I've asked the Lord for many mentors in business, in life, and marriage mentors, and all kinds of different mentors, and he's brought them, so I would say a mentor in no specific race, no specific age or anything. They could be a year older than you, or they can be 60 years old. But I just having that brother, I know iron sharpens iron, as one sharpens another. So if you don't have that guy who can call you out on when you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you will continue to do what you're not supposed to do. And that's one thing that propels me forward all the time, because I'll go tell my mentor I'm doing something I think I'm doing right, and he'll be like, "Nah, man, it's not how I do it." And then advice too. It just another brother, because even though I'm married, even though my wife loves me and she cares for me, I can't go to my wife with every single thing. And I don't think we were designed to do that either.
Nope.
Even now that I'm looking back, in primitive times and everything like that, men were out hunter gatherers, whatever. They saw different things, they went through different things, and they came back home. And that's why I think we complement each other so well. So just that mentor for sure.
Good, man. I know people saying they looking for a mentor, man. It was so many years that I looked to my pops, had a good pops. And outside of that, my pops used to always tell me, like, okay, let me give you an example. So just say my pops knew a little bit about cars. So if I call him and something's going on with my car, he could tell me a little bit, but he'll say, "Hey, son, you need to call so-and-so. He the mechanic. He can get that done." Okay, so cool. So my pops, he know a little bit about working on the house and stuff like that. Even though he knew it, he was like, "Son, you might need to call them and they could tell you." And so one thing about my pops is point me in the direction of somebody that know what they doing, qualified in what they doing, and also have seen success in what they doing. So he was pointing me in that direction. Even though he had the knowledge of it, it's still, you need somebody that's actually in that field that's doing it. Like, I love my pops to death, God rest his soul, but he always pointed me in direction of the person that actually doing it. And that right there made me build up. Now I got numbers and contacts on different people that do different things. So when I run into problems, guess what? His wisdom that put in me, now when I run into problems, I can seek them. Hey man, I call here, I can do this, I can do that. But yeah, man. So let me ask you this, man. Since you into football, man, let's talk a little sports, man. So
okay.
You got.
I don't be watching football all the time now.
Huh?
I don't be watching football like that.
But do you have a team?
I mean,
Not really.
I'm a Jalen Hurts fan.
Okay. You doing good already. You doing good already.
Yeah.
Okay. You doing good already. So do you know who in the playoffs? Let me put it like that. Oh man, he don't know who in the playoffs, man.
I watch more college than I do.
So you okay. So we can do college. So Notre Dame.
I like Notre Dame.
Do you got Notre Dame winning everything?
Let
me ask you that.
I don't know about winning everything. I don't know about that. Who else is in there?
Let me see. Let me make sure I got this right before I start running my mouth.
No, I watched some of the games. I know SMU lost. That's probably a long time ago, though. Notre Dame won. I know Texas barely won.
Yeah. So you got Notre Dame. They playing Penn State right now as we speak.
Are they playing?
Okay. Yeah, they playing right now, and they're like Penn State. It's 10-3 halftime.
Now Penn State some dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know, man. They gonna have to come up with something. Penn State got them clamps on them. So he got them clamps on them. Yeah.
Is Ohio State in there?
See, let me make sure. Let me look this up, man, because I watch more I watch
Yeah,
more
professional.
NFL. Yeah, I watch more NFL than I do college ball. College, man, it'd be like 200 teams to keep up with, man.
It do, but I just follow Colorado, Alabama, and then
Hmm.
just some of the ones. Everybody follow Colorado though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man. Let me see. Nah, that's a schedule for 'em. I ain't looking for the schedule. Semifinals. Let me see what now.
I think Ohio State is in there. I hope they in there.
Notre Dame,
I
Penn
know
State.
that's
Who
in
else on there? Let me go back. So he got Texas in there.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Got Ohio State in there.
Okay. Yeah.
Texas, Ohio State, Penn, and dang, who else? Oh, I don't even see. So that's Clemson, Texas, Tennessee, Ohio State, SMU, and Penn State. Is that right? Make sure that's right. Okay. So yeah, Texas and Ohio State, they playing January the 10th. So
That's gonna be a good.
that'll be
That's
it.
gonna be a
Yeah.
good
So
game.
Texas and Ohio State, Penn State and Notre Dame. So whoever win against Notre Dame and Penn State, they'll play the winner of Texas and Ohio State.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, for the championship. So yeah, that Ohio State and Texas game. So what you think about that Manning quarterback, man? What you think about?
Man, I think he needs to sit still, stay on the bench. They was pulling him out early, and
Yeah.
they was like, so I think that was really messing with the starter. I think it was, yeah, I think it was messing with his head because he
Mm-hmm.
wasn't having a good game. They would take him out, put Manning in. I mean, Manning gonna have his time. Let him chill. We see what he
Mm-hmm.
could do, but let the veteran do what he do. And I think they've been doing that. So I think they've been doing that pretty good.
I think they beat man. I ain't gonna lie. This the only I'm upset because ain't nobody in the SEC in there, man. That's the only thing I'm upset about, man. Because
Yeah.
I got a cousin that's from up north, and he always be talking noise because the SEC be winning so much.
Hmm.
But I said, man, you gotta look at this. I said every year in the SEC, you have at least 5 top 10 teams.
Right.
5 top 10 teams that you got to play against in the SEC, and most of the time LSU, Alabama,
Hmm.
um, LSU, Alabama, Texas A&M being in the mix, Ole
Yeah.
Miss being in the mix, all them
Definitely.
teams being in the mix, and you like, then you got Georgia, so you got all them teams
Oh
being in the
yeah.
mix, and you got to play against them. I'm like, man, if Arkansas went and played in the SEC or the ACC or any of
Yeah.
those other ones, I said, man, Arkansas will be in
Dog.
bowl games and stuff. I'm like, we playing in the SEC.
You see who they playing.
Right. I'm like, man, if I had to play against, let me see, man. If I had to play against, I don't know, no team they be playing against, but you playing against them because the Army and Navy pretty good nowadays.
Yeah, Army Navy good.
Yeah, they pretty good nowadays. So I'm finna say them, but let me see. That's saying you playing against Colorado State.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, or you playing against somebody like, or even if you go and you playing against Pulaski, no, I'm just playing. But man, they playing teams like that, on a
Yeah.
community college level, like you playing teams like that, so it's easy for your record to be 12-1 and all that. It's
Hmm.
easy. But that's just me though, man. But yeah. So bro, I appreciate you
For sure.
joining on here today, man. I
Anytime.
wanna when I
Anytime.
start when I start doing the live shows, I want you to come through too. So
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
that ain't gonna be long because I got the equipment. I'm just want to get my whole setup together first.
Yeah.
And
We can
so
talk a
I might
little
not
bit
even
on
do the setup. I might just start it and just start polishing
rock
it
out.
up as I go,
Yeah, just rock out. Yeah,
just
we
polishing
could
it up
definitely
as I go, man. That's it, man.
man,
So
cause I done failed nursing school and some more stuff, man. This is some stuff, that could probably help a
mhm,
brother out there, people feeling
mhm.
hopeless and stuff. So
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
man, we definitely can get that, man,
for
and get
sure.
into the the entrepreneur side.
Man,
When you
that's
coming in
on my heart at, man. It's on my
sending the
heart.
packages and stuff, man. We get into that too, man. So I appreciate you coming in, man. And
Yeah,
look, man, I
yeah.
thank the viewers. I thank y'all for tuning in, joining in with us on Real Man Talk, man. Until next week, we'll see y'all. Peace.